All right, everyone, welcome back to the men's division of the Seattle Cup. We have the Seattle Green versus the Seattle Blue team playing here. This is the second game for the Seattle Blue. They won their first game somewhat comfortably against Portland, and it's the first game for Seattle Green, so this is their tournament debut here today. Seattle Green moving the ball around. It'll be interesting to see their play styles. They have not yet taken the court this tournament. Looking for an opening here. Can they find it? Some contact there, and the rest will bring that back. Seattle Green retains the ball. Moves it out wide, then moves it back into the middle. Can they find a space here? Goes from the wing. And it seems as if Seattle Green stepped inside the boundaries that time, so even if it had gone in, it would not have counted. Seattle Blue moving quickly down. Spins his man, goes in the middle, and he finds a space, puts it in on the inside. 1-0, Seattle Blue open up the scoring. Seattle Green moving it around. They're searching the perimeter for a hole. Can they find it? Pushing through the middle. And it'll be sent back here to Seattle. Sorry, we're back. Seattle Green restarting here. And moving the ball around. We can't find the space here. Seattle Blue moving it down. Going inside. Electric attack there from Seattle Blue, and they go 2-0 up. So some of our viewers may be able to tell that the scoreboard on the court is swapped. Seattle Blue are leading 2-0 though, and we have about 23 minutes, 2 minutes played so far. Seattle Green still searching for their opening goal of the match. They've been trying to go inside a little more often. They may look for the wings in the future. A quick little switch there. Can they get the shot? If they can, but it's an excellent save there from the keeper. And Seattle Blue stay perfect and stay 2-0 in the lead. Moving the ball around here. Seattle Blue looking for an opening. Gets away from his man, but he can't get it past the keeper. Good save there from Seattle Green's keeper to keep them in the game. Excellent shot there from Seattle Green from distance as well. And they've cut the lead down to just one. Still very close here. Good goal there from Seattle Green to get themselves on the score sheet. Lobbed pass there from Seattle Blue to switch the court. Moving inside. Can they find the space? And the rest will call that back for holding. Seattle Blue moving around. Can they find an opening here? Gets the shot off and he manages to sneak it in. 3-1 Seattle Blue. Seattle Blue started this game very brightly. They've been excellent on offense. Seattle Green struggling a little bit on the defensive department, but they are not trailing by too much by now. So as long as they can stay within the game and stay within touching distance of Seattle Blue, they still have a chance. Green looking for space to get out wide. Send it back into the middle. Tries to get open. A good pass, and he goes on the under. 3-2, Seattle Green score. And Blue will get a start here again. Approximately 5 minutes played here as we go into the last 20. Seattle Blue looking to switch the field. They do. Keeps control of the ball here as they push down the middle. An overlapping pass. Can they find the space? A little too much on the pass there. Seattle Green break down the wings. They get over. Good catch there, and he finds the wide open space. Seattle Green level it up 3-3. It's all even here. It's 3-3. Seattle Blue have been a little bit of a scoring drought for the past minute or so. And too much excessive holding there. And that'll be a yellow card there for Seattle Green. Another one, and you get sent out for 2 minutes. And we get started again here. South Blue haven't scored in about a minute. They'll be looking for another opportunity here to try to get back on the score sheet. And they can find it, man. Just a little bit of an unlucky bounce there for the goalkeeper, but it just barely goes over his leg, and Seattle Blue lead 4-3. Quick play there. Goes out to the wide, and it's a little overshot there on the pass. Seattle Blue moving it around. Excellently placed shot there to make it 5-3, right into the bottom corner there, and Seattle Blue have regained a multiple goal cushion here. Seattle Green found some good form there in the past few minutes, but they haven't scored in a little while, and they'll be looking to get themselves back on the score sheet and cut the deficit down to 1. Still very much within touching distance, but they have to create something here. Finds a gap, and he can't get the throw off, but they will bring that back. Dangerous play there on the block. And Green will restart it. Green moves it out. 19 minutes left. We're opening here. Slightly risky passing, but they're managing to make it work so far. Gets out wide, and slips through his hands. Back to Seattle Blue. Seattle Blue looks for an open space. He's wide open. Excellent athletic save there from the Green goalkeeper to keep Blue to just 5. Green moves it around. They are now on a scoring drought. 2 unresponded goals from Blue, and Green is looking for any opening they can get here. Barely manages to hold on to it. Gives us a little space. Takes a shot from distance and puts it in. Excellent shot there from Green to cut the lead down to 1. It is 5-4. Blue gets the starters back again. Blue's been doing slightly better on offense here. They've definitely been getting more looks, but a recent good run of form from the Green goalkeeper has kept him in it, but now Blue gets another one bottom corner buried there, and that's been a favorite place for this Seattle Blue team to strike. That bottom corner has really been where they've gotten most of their goals out here. It is 6-4. Green moves it around. They've been a little bit lacking here on the offensive side. They've been getting actually a good amount of their goals from deep here, but they have to start creating something closer to the perimeter if they want to get. And that'll be an illegal drop. Refs call it back here, and Blue gets it started again. Goes high, but it's a little too high as it sails over the crossbar there. Green comes away a little bit lucky that was not on target. Green moves the ball around. Green looking for some space here. Good overlapping play there. They've been good at holding around the perimeter. A nice distance shot, a little deflection there. And we'll go back to Blue. Oh, looks like it'll actually, the rest will call back to Green there. Green gets a little bit lucky to recover that possession, and they'll get another chance to score here. Green not finding that much space. They have some more on the right. Can't find it. Excessive contact there, and it'll go back to Bloom. Green's been a little bit wasteful on their possessions here this game. They need to start being a little more clinical. Excellent fast break there from Blue. They find the space on the wing, and they'll go up to 7. Blue has been starting to add to their lead here as it's 7-4. They're still not very far away, still definitely within touching distance of Seattle Green. But Green are going to have to put a point on the board here in this attack if they wish to still stay within that distance of Bloom. And too many shots, and Green will have to give it away. Blue will bring it back, and we'll get started again. Quick substitution there for blue. Bringing in a new pivot here, hopefully to get them a little more clinical. Excellent shot, crossbody shot there from blue. Puts them up 8-4, and they now double green's total goal tally. Green moving the ball around nicely here. Can they find some space? They struggled to score for the past few minutes. Goes to the inside and somehow manages to sneak it through. 8-5. We're into the last 15 minutes here of this half. Seattle Blues been doing extremely well here on the offense. They've been hitting that bottom corner as their favorite target quite often. That's a step in there, and it'll go to green. Actually, it'll go back to blue. The refs saw some contact there, and Seattle Blue will retain the ball. And excessive contact there. The referee will point to the spot. It's a 7-meter shot. All right, stepping up to take it. Seattle Blue can go up to 9 points here and further extend their lead. Excellent athletic save there from the Seattle Green goalkeeper. Keeps them in it. One of the better saves we've seen all day in this tournament from the 7-meter mark. A lobbed pass gets it started back again. Seattle Blue has another chance. Can they find a space? Ooh, just barely sneaks past. And Seattle Green will regain possession as they search for another goal to further cut down the deficit that they face right now. Seattle Green looking to push. They haven't really had as electric plays as Seattle Blue has, but they've been patient, and as we saw in the last game, patience can win games. What they need to focus on now is getting a few goals on the board and playing solid defense to stop from conceding. Tries to find some space, goes too much to the ground, but the refs will see some contact on that. Green will get it started back again. So far, the refs haven't been too busy. It's been a pretty clean game besides one early yellow card on Green. Another distance shot for Seattle Green as they go up to 6 points. They've cut the deficit down to just 2. And something we've seen from them a lot today is those distance shots. Seattle Blue find a space and they go up to 9 points. And it's been two very contrasting styles of offense here. Seattle Green been very patient, taking shots from long. Their number 44 has scored a bulk of their points, while Seattle Blue has been a lot quicker. They found the space on the inside, and they've been a lot more difficult for Green's goalie to keep them out. Seattle Green lays it off. A little too much contact there. And it'll go back to Green as we get it started again. All right, final 12 minutes here. Seattle Blue leads 9-6. Seattle Green goes in, lays it off from the wing. They recycle it back out to the inside. Can they find the space? Contact there on the throw. And it'll be a standard foul as Green restarts. Seattle Green lays it off. Can they get the distance shot? Lays it off again. Tries to find space. And there will have been a little too much contact there. No goal for Seattle Green. Score stays at 9-6. We've had a little bit of a scoring drought here as neither team's really been able to find that. And Seattle Blue will give it up. A quick counter attack from Seattle Green. Manages to get free and puts it in. Very explosive play there. It's something they've been lacking this entire game, but they finally managed to find it. A good recognition there from the team. Good distance shot there from Seattle Blue, but Green's goalkeeper keeps it up. As I was saying, good recognition there from the Seattle Green team to see the opportunity, and they took it, and it's still only 2-goal difference. It's been a very close game here today in the second match of the men's bracket. Green moves the ball, and they'll win the foul there. Green, they keep it cycling. Good movement there, but he can't get past two, and they'll call that back for another foul. Green looks for space, tries to lay it off, but a miscommunication there, and kick to the ball there from Seattle Blue, and it'll go back to Seattle Green. Seattle Green's had possession for a few minutes now. Who manages to find some space, and they will count that there. 9-8. Seattle Green's been on a decent scoring run here as they cut the deficit down to just one. If Seattle Blue can't score again soon, they're looking at a potentially tied game going into the second timeout. Blue finds some space here. Can they open it up? Still a very close game here. Both teams neck and neck. And if there's, as we saw in the last game, though, it can change in the final minutes of the half. Seattle Blue looking to make that change. Went for a little bit more placement over power there, and the goalkeeper was able to read it. And we go into the very first timeout, or the very second timeout of the half. All right, and we are back. Just a reminder for our viewers that the scoreboard, the digital scoreboard, is not accurate. There's about 9 minutes left in this first half. Seattle Blue currently lead, but only by one, as it's 9-8. As we go into the final 10 minutes here of this very first half, Seattle Green will get us started again as they look to equalize on this drive. They move inside. They were relying very heavily on their center here. Almost loses control. Managed to keep a distant shot there, but it's a little too high there from Seattle Green. And Seattle Blue get the ball again, trying to extend their lead, give themselves a little bit of a cushion. Seattle Blue try to find space here. Can they see an opening? They might get it, and he manages to sneak it under. That's Seattle Blue going to double digits here as it's 10-8. Seattle Green moving it around. Can they find space? A little fake out there as they keep the ball. Tries to find space, but the shot's a little too high. There was contact on that drive, however, and it'll go back to Seattle Green. About 8 minutes left here in the first half. Oh, a little misfire there on the pass, and it goes out of bounds. Seattle Blue will throw it in. They've been playing well here, but they are on a little bit of a drought. They haven't scored very much in the past few minutes. It's been a little bit closer than most people would have predicted, especially after their strong win in their first game. Seattle Blue were definitely favorites going in, and while they are winning, they're not leading by nearly as much as people would have thought. Seattle Green's doing very well to both score and hold their opponents to very few goals. A little too much running there from Seattle Blue, and Seattle Green gets it again, as they'll go down and try to chip into this lead and get up to 9 points on themselves. I think they see a gap. Excellent shot there through the contact, but it looks like it will not count. It will be brought back here for Seattle Green to start. It's a shame that didn't go in, as it was a very nice shot through contact for Seattle Green there, but they'll have to try to repeat it if they want to get up to 9 points here. They go through the wing, find some space, and it's a good leg lift there from the Green goalkeeper to keep it out. Seattle Blue, keep it moving. They want to try to build out a little bit of a lead here. The biggest lead they had was 8-4 earlier in the half, and they make it up now to 3, 11-8. They have never led by nearly too much, but they are trying to find some more goals here. But now the next part of that process is defending, as Seattle Green come down for another drive, seeing if they can chip in to this lead and get up to 9 goals on the night. Again, a shot through traffic, but keeps getting called back here, and it'll be back to Seattle Green to restart it. If I'm a Seattle Green player, I might be a little bit disappointed with some of these calls, as they've twice had goals discounted due to previous fouls. Seattle Green, keep it moving. They're going to have to try to score here. A nice little handoff. Excellent shot on the turn. But it was a good save there from the Blue goalkeeper. And Blue will keep it moving here. They're going down quickly. Lays it off. A little miscommunication there, but they keep the ball. Blue keep it moving. A nice high shot there, but a good save there from the Green goalkeeper. They try to move it quickly. Good pass. Can he get open here? He looks for space, and he manages to sneak in under. 11-9 here, as we head into the final 5 minutes of this first half. And a yellow card will be given for the amount of contact there during the defensive play from Seattle Blue. Blue keep it moving. They're looking for some space. Can they find it? They go up, and it's a nice distance shot there. They'll find the crease, and they'll get up to 12 goals. Excessive contact there, and it'll go back to Seattle Green. Now as we start 10 to half, what are both teams thinking? For Seattle Blue, they've been very good on the counter. They've been very explosive in their attacking, but sometimes they've been disorganized on defense, and they've been left exposed several other times. For Seattle Green, they've been very methodical in the offense, and it's been working for them to an extent, but they are trailing, and they need to start putting a few more goals into the back of the net. They've been a little stouter on defense, but they can also easily get caught out on the break, and that's really been where most teams have been scoring, or both teams have been mostly scoring today, is on that counter transition. Whichever team can, 1, take advantage, and 2, defend their opponents on the transition will come out on top today. Miscommunication there for Blue, and it goes out of bounds. An attempted quick move there from Green. He tries to get an excellent shot there through contact, manages to find the tiny window there to bring it up 12-10. And we'll have one more timeout of this half. 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. All right, and we get started here for the final 3 or so minutes of this half. Seattle Blue lead very narrowly, 12-10. And they turn it over, given to Green. Distribute it quickly. They go to the wing to get the shot off, and he sneaks it under, 12-11. This game could very well go into halftime tied. Seattle Blue need to put some more goals on the board if they want to regain their buffer. Seattle Blue moving around. Can they find some space here? A wide shot, but it goes wide. Good movement there from the Seattle Green defense to keep the shot wide, and now they go down on the attack. Can they level the game for the first time since the very beginning of the first half? Illegal contact there from Seattle Green. It goes back to Seattle Blue. We can't hold on to it from Seattle Blue. Calling for a foul, but nothing given there by the referees. Green's looking. Can they swing it out wide? Called by the ref. Number 6 from Seattle Green got a little too close to the goalie, and it'll be turned over to Seattle Blue. Seattle Blue moving around. Can they find an opening here? Good bounce pass. They managed to hold on to it, but doesn't really improve their position here. Ooh. Too much contact there, and it appears as if the referees will be pointing towards a 7-meter shot. Excellent chance with less than 2 minutes remaining for Seattle Blue to go into the lead, or at least buffer their lead by 2 goals. All right, steps up. Seattle Green's keeper has already saved 1, but this one gets by him, 13-11. And Seattle Green has a little bit of work to do now if they want to go into the half equal. So Seattle Blue will get ejected here. Not entirely sure what the ref saw there, but Seattle Green goes up now by a player. They will be up a player for the rest of the final minute and 30 seconds of this half. This is an excellent opportunity here for them to go into the lead, or perhaps even get, or at least get a tie, maybe go into the lead going into the second half. But they're going to have to be clinical here. They're searching for a hole. Can they find the opening? And that will help them a lot. 13-12. Seattle Green puts it in. Now all they have to do is win the ball back and go down the field, and they can go to this half level. And a little bit unfortunate lack of discipline there from Seattle Blue. Really not an excellent time to go a man down, but now they have to try to hold on to their lead as we go into the final minute of the first half. And the game will get started again. Seattle Blue looking for a drop. Lobs it over. Can they find an opening here? Content to hold the ball as they are currently in the lead. Looks for the opening, and they'll put themselves 2 goals ahead. It's unlikely that Blue will be able to get in here. Very good quick play though from Blue to knock it up, 14-13. But you have to think that Seattle Blue will just want to hold on here and take their lead into the half. Perhaps one final shot left in the half. Seattle Green wins it back, and it's go time here. They're trying to move it down the court. Can they keep it in? Keeps it in. Goes for the final shot, and he can't put it in, and that will close out the first half. Excellent chance there for Seattle Green to go into the half level, but they can't convert, and Seattle Blue leads 14-15 as we go into halftime. Now, as both teams prepare for the second half, what are they both going to be focusing on? For Seattle Green, they've done quite well actually to keep themselves in the game here. They were definitely underdogs going into it, but they're trailing by just 1 point, and they really had an opportunity to make it level just before the half. For them, they're just going to have to be a little sourer defensively, win back more points, and try to take advantages of any breaks in possession they have. Most of their goals have been long-range shots on transitions, and that's really where they're going to thrive in the second half. For Blue, they've done well, but they should likely be ahead by more by now. They've been a little bit weak on defense, letting a lot of longer shots through that possibly could have been blocked before they even reached the keeper. They have, however, been excellent on offense, really utilizing fast breaks and quick play to startle the Seattle Green defense and get in very nice and easy goals. In the second half, they'll likely face a bit of a tougher defense, so they need to do better at 1, defending themselves, and 2, being a little more patient, not giving the ball away. They struggled with possession a little bit, especially in the final end zone when trying to score. Both teams have a lot to do in the second half. It's still very close and could still easily go anyway. But there's only one way to find out, and we'll be back in about 1 minute with the second half of this game. All right, we are back for the second half of what has been a close and thrilling game here between the two Seattle teams. There's a lot at stake here. Seattle Blue won their first game. If they win again today, they'll be strongly established as the favorites for the overall tournament. Seattle Green is their first showing, but if they can beat Seattle Blue in their first appearance on the court, that'll bode very well for their future tournament chances. Seattle Blue get us started here as we throw off the second half. The first half, Blue did very well to take their chances as they came, but they weren't as patient around the perimeter, and they're going to need to really be able to build on that and execute it well if they're going to win this game. They seem to be doing it pretty well here. Lots of movement around the perimeter has been their specialty. Oh, and that's too easy of a gap there. Poor defending there from Seattle Blue, or Seattle Green, I'm sorry. And that was too easy of a gap. For the Blue, it appears as if the goal will not count. It seems as if Blue stepped inside the area, and Seattle Green got very lucky with that call. Oh, unlucky there from the goalkeeper. A shot through traffic there for Seattle Green. They managed to sneak it through the legs of the Blue goalkeeper. And it gets even worse for Seattle Blue as they get a player ejected for 2 minutes, and they're once again down to 5 people. Last game, discipline was a significant issue for the Seattle team, and this game it's happening again. Seattle Blue, excellent shot there, gets up and manages to put it down underneath the crossbar, and we are all level here, 14-14. This is quite the opportunity here for Seattle Green to put themselves in the lead for the first time in this game. Oh, but through traffic, good shot there through traffic from Seattle Blue as they manage to get themselves back to the lead, still down a man here. Seattle Green still up a player. They have to use that to their advantage. It's very hard for handball teams to stretch the court given how small it is, but good ones can do it. And Seattle Green are going to have to see if they can do it here. Manages to hold on to it, but he gives it away, and that will be poor. It's now 3-on-3 here. Can Blue get away with it? Pushes through traffic, through the contacts, but manages to get it in. And 16-14. Blue have done very well, even being down a player. They're up by 2 now. And Seattle Green have really seen their chance slip away here. After they equalized, they had the chance. They're up a player, and now they're back down to 2 goals. Good play there from Blue to get themselves back in the front. Seattle Green move around. Can they find some space here? They have only scored once this half. It was a very good goal, but they still are struggling a little bit in the scoring part. And a good save there from Seattle Blue stops another Green attack. Blue now with a chance to extend their lead to 3 goals, all while being a player down. Looking for opening, but loses possession. Refs will call back for contact, and it's back to Blue's ball. Blue looking for some space here. Can they find it? They go to the wing. A hard shot there, but it's a little too much. Sails over the crossbar, and it's still just a 2-point difference between these 2 Seattle teams. Good pump fake there, goes up and takes a distance shot, gets unlucky. Green have been doing very well from distance today. They've been shooting extremely high percentage from distance, and it's really been contributing a lot to their success today. Haven't been as good inside the perimeter. Contact there, but it'll go back to Blue. Seattle Blue with a chance to extend their lead to 3. Seattle Blue also no longer down a player. They are back to 6 on the court. And he manages to sneak it in off the underside of the cross. And Seattle Blue go up 3. Seattle Blue did very well during that 2-minute period when they were down a man. It really shows the quality and the depth that this team has to still be able to put goals in the net even when down a player. Blue moving it around. Switching the court here. Trying to find a gap on the inside. They lay it off. Can they find an opening? They try it off the crossbar. Who's going to get to it? And it's going to be Seattle Blue. Seattle Blue trying to pull away here. Their biggest lead this game so far has been 4 when they were leading 8-4 early in the first half. They're currently leading by 3, and they're looking to put themselves back up to a 4-goal cushion. Contacts, but he manages to get through it, and they'll give him they'll send it back, unfortunately, for Seattle Blue. They get another chance here to score a goal and put themselves up by 4. Looking for the 18th of the night. Goes through. Excellent fake there. Gets it down before he lands. And Seattle Blue are up to 18 goals, winning by 4. Or winning by 4 over Seattle Blue, or Seattle Green. 20 minutes left in this game. Seattle Green has seen their deficit grow, and they really have a lot of work to do here if they're going to get back close to their opponents. Seattle Green has been trailing since pretty much the beginning of this second half, and it's a good save there from the Blue keeper to keep it out. All right, this is a good opportunity though here for Seattle Green to cut into the deficit. They haven't scored in a while, and it goes off the post. That adds to the nearly 4-minute scoring drought that Seattle Green has been on. A golden opportunity there that they cannot convert, and Seattle Blue has the ball. Seattle Blue searching for the option. Decides not to go through it on the wing. They find it on the slants, and they can put it in. Expertly slotted there right between the near post. Usually keepers should not be being beat on the near post, but that shot had a lot of power. And Seattle Blue. And a wrong start there from Seattle Green makes the situation even worse. A counterattack from Blue. A nice lifted shot there. Excellent technique on display. And it's 20-14. And all of a sudden, Seattle Green, who could have gone into halftime level, have seen their chance of this game nearly dissipate as they're now down by 6, which is the biggest deficit so far. And Seattle Green gives it away again. Blue with another chance here to further increase the score, further increase their lead. Goes up for it and puts it in again. 21-14. It's been, I mean, this has been an incredible 2 minutes here for Seattle Blue as they've knocked out a 7-goal lead, and Seattle Green calls a timeout. They're going in, and they have to change something here because they have just been hit like incredible. They've been hit a lot by Seattle Blue, and they really have to change something going in to the next 19 minutes and final 19 minutes of this half. All right, both teams back out now. A little less than 19 minutes left, and that was really an electric past 2 minutes for Seattle Blue. They started it down a player. They ended it up 7 goals, and Seattle Green really hadn't figured out a way to respond. They took a timeout, try to regroup here, and we'll see if anything's changed. But they have to score right off the bat, or else Seattle Blue are going to continue to expand their advantage. All right, Green gets us started again, looking for a goal to try to chip into that lead and bring themselves back to where they were at the end of the first half. Control the ball, keep it, moving it back into the middle. Can you find space? Too many bodies to go through. Perhaps around. Can Green find space? They've been holding on to it for a while. Excellent save there from the Seattle Blue goalkeeper, and it looks like Green stepped in just a little too close. Blue moving around. Can they go 8 goals into the lead here? A nice loop shot, and they can, and the game's starting to get away from Green a little bit. They did very well in the first half to keep Blue kind of within touching distance, but now like it may be a little too late here. They've allowed themselves to be pegged back. They're now 8 goals down, and they're going to have to start scoring and defending very soon if they want to get back to this game. Looking for a chance, and that will help them quite a lot. Seattle Green going up to 15 goals, and they cut it back down to 7. The first that they've scored in almost 5 minutes here. All right, sorry folks for having some technical difficulties, but we are back. Seattle Green will start back in 23-16. They're still down by a good amount, but it's not irreversible. Still within range, but they have to start scoring and defending very soon, else you have to think that Blue will just run away with it here. And Blue regains possession here. Wasteful from Seattle Green. They really can't be afforded to giving away possessions that cheaply when they're down by this much. Blue drives in, lays it off, going from the corner. Can they convert it? And they can't. Good save there from Seattle's goalkeeper. A heave downfield, but a little too much on it. And Green taking a bit of a risk there on the flash play, but they give away possession. Blue moving it around. Can they find space? Yes, they can, and he converts it. Well shot there from Seattle Blue to knock it up 24-16, and they currently lead by 8. Green moving the ball around, looking for space. They've struggled to score recently, and they give it away. That will not help. Good play there, and wasteful there from Seattle Blue. Cannot take advantage of a golden opportunity there to further extend their lead, and Green gets very lucky with that. Green manages to maintain after a little miscommunication there. They still go, and they can't get it in. Solid save there from the Seattle Blue goalkeeper to keep the difference at 8. Blue keeps it moving here. Looking for an opportunity. Neither team has scored in a little while. And the goal will count there. Lots of traffic to get through for Blue, but he manages to get through it, and it's 25-16. Blue have their largest lead of the game at 9 goals. Again, fighting through lots of contact there, but Green cannot convert it, just barely slides it into the side netting. If Blue scores here, it may be close to ender, but no, Seattle Green manages to keep it, and they're going down the field. 2-on-1. Lays it off. Can they convert? Yes, they can. A wide open net really there for Green, and they get it down to just an 8-point difference here once again. Blue keeps it moving, looking to reassert their 9-goal lead. Good save there, but slow on the rebound for Green. Another excellent save. The Green's goalkeeper bails them out here. Green goes down the other way, and a very, very nice little shot there from Green to bring themselves up to 18 points. Both teams moving around now, looking for some space. Another excellent save there from the Green goalkeeper. 3 saves in a row, and the rest will call something back though. Appears there's a little too much contact there, and Seattle Blue will get a 7-meter shot. Very, very chippy little loop shot there, but it works, and Seattle Blue are back 8 goals in the lead. Seattle Green also lost a player there due to that foul call, so they are only at 5, which really isn't a good situation for them. And Seattle Green scores. Seattle Blues keeper got a foot to it, but blasted it into the ceiling of his own net. Lucky goal there for Seattle Green. Now they have to try to defend down a man. Will they be able to keep Blue out? Another excellent save there. Seattle Green's goalkeeper really been putting in a shift here to try to keep his team in it. It looks like there may be an injury on the field, but a good shot from Seattle Blue gets them another point. And it looks like there may be a cramp on the court here. Player down for Seattle Blue. It's not a good sign. They do have 1 sub, but that's all the depth that they have. All right, may take a little break right now while they sort out the injury situation. All right, we get started back. We get started back again here. About 12 minutes left. Seattle Blue currently lead 27-18 against Seattle Green. Seattle Green looking for some space here. Can they find it? Yes, they can. Seattle Green, good shot there. Goes up and puts it down. It's 27-20. Good movement here from Blue. Trying to find open space, and yes, they can. Slot through just past the Green goalkeeper. And Green will turn it over back to Seattle Blue. Looking to extend their lead to 9, which would equal their best lead in this game so far. Rushing for the ball, and judge to go off. Green's foot, Seattle Blues ball. This is off, Blue goes through it, and easily put through 29-20. And Seattle Blue lead by 9 as we go into the final 10 minutes of this game. Green looking for an opening here. They have to score soon as they've been a little bit lackluster, and it'll be a foul. Green picks up the ball, and they get another chance to go again here. Seattle Green moves it, and he can find the space. He's in. 29-21 here for Green. Blue moving around. They get a shot on. Out on Green, and Blue will get a start back again. Keeps it moving here, back to Blue. And they'll go back again, trying to find goal number 30. Also through his hands, Blue manages to keep it. Can't get it off. Up and down, the goal will not stand, and it's still 29-21 here. Blue can't keep in possession of it. Green's going one-on-one, one-on-two. Can Blue maintain their charge here? Yes, they can. Goal number 30 for Seattle Blue. Green lays it off here. They're going to have to start scoring significantly more here if they want to bring anything back from this game. Tries to find the crease, and he can. Slips through. 22 for Seattle Green. About 8 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. Plenty of time for something to change here. But right now, Seattle Blue trying to get in. And too much contact on that. And Seattle Blue will be awarded a 7-meter throw. Excellent chance for them to push their lead to 9. Looks like steps back. Blue, and he finds the crease. 31-22. Seattle Green down a man, by the way, after that foul, so they're still playing with 5. Both teams now have had 2 2-minute penalties on them. So they spent equal amounts of time with 5 men on the field, but really for Seattle Green, this is a situation they can barely afford to be in. Already trailing by 8. They're now down a man. And as Seattle Blue goes, lots of contact there, and it hits the frame of the goal. But it will be awarded back to Blue for them to restart play. All right, we're starting again. Seattle Blue moving the ball around the perimeter. Can they find an opening here? And it goes a little too high here. Seattle Green tries to get it down the field. Perfect pass from the keeper there. And he executes. 31-23 is only an 8-point difference now. We have about 7 minutes remaining, an 8-point difference, and it's still all to play for here between Seattle Blue and Seattle Green. Too much contact there, and Blue will get the ball back. Blue continues to move it. They've been very patient in the second half, and it's really paid off for them as they've extended their lead. Unlucky, hits the frame of the goal. And extreme awareness there from Blue. Incredible awareness to get to that ball and push it back towards the goal. And you have to be wondering really what the Green defender was thinking there. Caught completely off guard, and that is really a goal that you cannot be afford to giving up when you're down by 8 goals. Green now looking to respond. They probably won't get as lucky as Blue just did on the last play, but they can still get a goal. Tricky shot there through contact, and it'll go back to Green. Green gets a start back here. Green now with a full 6 players on the court after their penalty expired. About 2 minutes left, and a high deflection sends the ball out of bounds. It's a corner there for Blue, or for Green, I'm sorry. They need to create something here with only 6 minutes left and down by 9. They really have to come up with some good plays here if they want to get back into this game. Now, in the first half, they did have a late half resurgence where they managed to really close the gap, but they were down by a lot less than they are now. Corner again for Green, who gets us back into play. Looking for a spot here. Green goes up for it. Good save there from the Seattle Blue goalkeeper. Blue looking to go 10 points into the lead here, which would be their largest lead in the entire game, but their pivot steps in, and it's back to Green's ball. Green needs to find some goals, and they need to find some quickly here, as they have only 5 minutes to bridge a 9-goal gap. Defending also, of course, is critically important here, and that's something they've really struggled with in this game. Now looking for more of a shot. Green almost do give it away, and they fight back for it though. Excellent play there from Green to get it. Contact though, and it goes the way of Blue. Green really trying to fight a little bit more as we go into these last 5 minutes, but they may be a little too far down. Blue goes up to make it 10, and Blue scores to make it 33 points and give themselves a 10-goal lead with just 4.5 minutes remaining. Green rearranging here, trying to try something new, see if they can figure out a way to score 10 goals in 4 minutes. They might be down by a little too much now, but they're going to keep trying. Distance shot, and an excellent save there. Blues' defensive success this game has been in no short part to their goalkeeper. In fact, both goalkeepers have really been putting on a display here and have made some incredible saves. But the Seattle Blue defense has just been offense has just been a little too lethal here, as they currently lead by 10. Seattle Blue moving the ball around the perimeter, looking for a hole if they can. They get it. A little bit of contact there. And the referees will not give it. They will not give the contact call, and it's a goal for Seattle Blue as they take their tally up to 34 on the day and go 11 goals into the lead. With less than 3.5 minutes left at this point for Seattle Green, all they have to think about is their next game against Portland, right? Now, Seattle Blue got 2 wins here today. They're feeling very good about themselves heading in to the next round of matches tomorrow. And really, it's going to be a question if any of the 2 teams can stop Seattle Blue from just outright winning this entire tournament. Green put up a good fight today, and so did Portland, but both teams eventually did fall to Seattle Blue. Now, the more interesting question is going to be who comes on top between Seattle Green and Portland. Both teams lost to Seattle Blue, but both teams played Seattle Blue quite closely. And the way I see it, that game could go either way. Seattle Blue here with the 7-meter shot attempt, to put their tally up to 35, but they do not, and it's an excellent save there from the Seattle Green goalkeeper. Keeps the difference to just 11. Seattle Green tries to go out from the wide. Moves in, and he gets underneath the keeper, 34-24. Seattle Blue keeps it moving. At this point, there's really nothing left for them to worry about. They've won their 2 games. They're heading into tomorrow in a great position. A little bit of a questionable pass there from Seattle Blue, and now it's 2-on-1 for Green. They go for it, and they dunk. Excellent putback there. Good counterattack there from Green. And they're only 9 points away now with less than 2 minutes left. Likely still too much of a mountain to climb, but they will know that they put up a very good performance against what is clearly becoming the best team in the tournament, Seattle Blue. Now, all Green have to do is think about what went well here and what do they have to change in their next match against Portland. Seattle Blue score, and it's now 35-25 with a minute and a half remaining. And as we go into these final 90 seconds here, Seattle, it's really just practice for both Seattle teams. Seattle Green trying to put a couple more points on the board and make their point difference look a little bit better. Excellent foot save there as it goes into the stands. Good reflexes, incredible reflexes there from the Seattle Blue goalkeeper. All right, the ball is brought back into play here. It'll be a quick throw-in for Seattle Green as they get started again. And it's a corner for Seattle Green. All right, we are down to the final 60 seconds here. Really just practice for these two teams. Good save again from the goalkeeper from Seattle Blue. Really had an exceptional man of the match performance here from the goalkeeper. And he is the reason that this game isn't extremely close as it was in the first half. He's really turned it on here in the second half. Needless possession giveaway there from Blue, and Green gets back. And you have to think, if things had gone a little bit different, Green could have been in a much closer game here. A couple chances they could have taken. A couple less saves from Seattle Blues goalkeeper, who makes another incredible save, this time with his hands to keep it